So, what makes a good website? And no, it's not just looks. So, why your website matters? It's your digital storefront. It's open 24/7, 7 days a week. It can make sales for you even when you're not available. I can guarantee you your salesman isn't there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's really a cost effective way to help share your products and your services and help people who want to learn more about your business. It establishes credibility and professionalism. When you have a website that you can point people to and it looks professional, it shows them that you care about them and you're willing to show up and help them out. First impressions. So, what's the first thing that you do when you're at a networking event or when you're just learning about somebody? You Google them, right? And you go to their website most of the time. So, if you don't have a website, right, then it's kind of hard to see what the brand values are, and you can really have say it's on social media, and that's the only thing they can find about you. You're not controlling the narrative there, so it is really important for first impressions to have a good website. It's a central marketing hub. So really, going back to social media, there, all of your social media should flow back to your website for the next couple of bullet points I'm going to talk about. So you own the data. Now, this is a super important one because when you own the data, you can test and optimize different things and increase your conversion rate, the which then becomes a competitive advantage for your business. And the more things you can stack on competitive wise compared to your competition, you can increase your margins and grow your bottom line. Uh, it makes or breaks sales and leads. So when people find more about you, they spend more time. They really know, like, and trust you more. So what that does is it lowers time for that you have to nurture those leads, and you can spend less time on sales because they're ready to buy, right? They already know what they're getting, and they're just ready to go. So it really does a lot of the qualifying for you. So core elements of a good website. So you want to have throughout your website, you want to have clear call to actions and let them know exactly what they're getting. You want to have fast load times, under 3 seconds, content and design that reflects your brand, mobile responsive design, make it easy to navigate. Again, they're there to learn something about you. Don't make it hard on them. You want to have it accessibility compliant, or ADA and WCAG. I can never pronounce WCAG. And you also want strong security. Again, your HTTPS, SSL, backups, all of that fun stuff. Again, shows professionalism and accurate content. So, getting into clear and compelling calls to actions. You really want to guide your user, guide the customer, and you want to use action oriented language to really get them to make a change, right? Visual prominence. Again, you want to make it easy to find, make it visually appealing. Highlight the benefit that they'll receive of using your product or service. And you want to make it mobile friendly. That way, if they look you up on a device, that it looks good and the content also looks good. Again, and you want to continually test and optimize this. It's a never ending process. An example of this would be this image here. So on the left, we have our copy, and on the right, we have our social proof. So what this red box here is, it matches the search intent. So when somebody's searching for his specific product, so for pressure washing, it says it's in South Dundas, so it tells them what he does, where he does it, and the reason to take action here is in yellow. So make your home the talk of the neighborhood. Again, that's a reason to take action. I want my house to look great. And then request a free no obligation quote today. And then we have get a free quote. This should bring them to get a quote. And this is a call if they prefer to call, or a secondary call to action. On the right here, we have our social proof. Again, if he does this for this person, wow, what will he do to my home? It looks fantastic. And then we also have further social proof to help increase conversion rate. So he's washed over 500 houses, so he has experience. He's been doing this for more than 5 years. So he knows what he's doing, and he's also fully insured. So that makes a big difference. Load times and performance, so why it matters. Every second lost impacts user experience, conversions, and SEO. So Google came out with a study back in 2016, I believe, and it says for every 3 seconds, so if your website takes over 3 seconds, you lose about 50 to 60% of your web traffic. Now, I don't know about you, but these are high intent leads. And when you have high intent leads, losing 50 to 60% of them, it just sucks, right? Because these are people who want to give you money, right? You just gotta let them give you money. Key optimization strategies. So in order to accomplish that, what we want to do is we want to optimize our images. We want to cache our website closer to the user or closer to the customer. Reliable hosting and content delivery network. Again, that's just make your web server as close as possible to the person requesting your website. And then there's code optimizations. You would get a developer to do this. So in order, this is still very vague. So what we want to do to test this is we want to use a tool like Google PageSpeed Insights or GTmetrix, and this will give you a relative score of how fast it loads. So on the left here we have our before, and on the right here we have our after. The before is it's Google saying our performance isn't fantastic. There's a bit of work to be done. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics here for the Web Core Vitals, but again, this website would take over 3 seconds to load, so we would lose a lot of our traffic, whereas this site here, it loads much faster. It's also important for SEO too, which I forgot to mention. Design and brand consistency. So when we're designing our website, we want to use consistent fonts, colors, imageries, and logo. We really want it to feel cohesive, so we can maintain a unified brand voice and brand imagery across the whole site. So this should build recognition and trust between us and our customer or whoever's visiting the site. We really want to avoid clutter and give elements room to breathe. More white space is generally better. It improves readability and focus and creates a sense of professionalism. We want to establish a visual hierarchy to help guide people through the content. We can do this by using size, color, placement to prioritize information. So when we're designing for a website, we want to use natural scanning patterns like Z and F in the English speaking world. Some languages you read left to right, and you would want to use different patterns for those. But I'm mainly talking about English sites here. An example of this would be the site here. We can see this white outline here. This would be the F pattern. So our eyes naturally scan from the top left here to the right here. And then we have this big image here that it goes to. And then it goes back to the copy here. So we can see a woman smiling, darker here, probably having a consultation. And then we can see here that there's Ottawa Family Dental Clinic, a dental clinic that feels like home. We can see here, this is what our eye is drawn to first out of this copy. So we read the benefit here. This is for SEO, this little topper here. And then it gives the supporting copy underneath. A dental clinic that puts their people before appointments. So again, that immediately clarifies the brand value. And then we have the icons here, which is the actual location icons for the specific. So if you go and visit these dental clinics, if you visit the Orleans one, it has a butterfly. And if you visit the Bank Street one, it has a moth icon. Again, it all feels very cohesive. It feels on brand. I know I'm in the right place. So mobile first design. So over 60% of the web is mobile. So again, if you have a poor mobile experience, you're neglecting about 60% of your customers, right? And you don't want to do that. as people expect a seamless experience on the go, right? Because most of us are using our phones when we're searching up something locally or when we're away from our home. So poor mobile experiences equal high bounce rates, and that equals lost leads and poor SEO and poor conversions. And when I'm talking about mobile first design, I just don't mean that it looks quote unquote good on a mobile. You want to have sufficient spacing. That way, if I click on something, I'm not accidentally clicking on the wrong thing. It's a big problem with a lot of websites. So again, we want it to adapt across devices, be responsive, touch friendly. We want the content to be readable, meaning we're not going less than 16 pixels for our content. Preferably, you want to have your content at least 18. That way, people can read it. Intuitive navigation. Don't call your contact page like Connect, for example. You really want it to use convention here, or use something like resources instead of my special work or something. Like, again, think of it as if you were coming to your site for the first time. Would you know what this means in the navigation? If you would have no idea, don't include it. And again, for all of this, continual testing is key. You want to continually test this and refine. That way, people can have the best experience possible. Now, an example of this is on the left here. We can see that our content is no less than 16 pixels for our copy here. It tells us our headline. What would be even better on the left here is if we had a call to action within this phone here. Like, this is actually kind of a little bad because, again, there's no call to next to take action. We actually have to scroll here to get to the next action. On the right here, we can see that, it doesn't shrink nicely to a mobile device here. We have all this white space, and it's really a bad user experience. So accessibility matters. So there's specific ADA and WCAG compliant issues. You could actually get sued if you're not meeting certain accessibility requirements, and it can get very expensive. So it's just better to do it right from the beginning than face a lawsuit. So we want to make it an inclusive experience for everyone. So everyone can have a disability regardless of regardless of ability. It covers visual, auditory, motor, and cognitive impairments. Like, again, we want our site to be accessible for everyone, because you can get a disability at any time, and yeah, it's just the right thing to do. So key elements of this would include images, or describing text, or using text to describe images for screen readers. Color contrast, you want to have it at least AA compliant to ensure readability. Keyboard navigation, you want to have it fully functioning without a mouse, because some people can't use a mouse. Form usability, you want to have labeled fields and clear instructions. Captions, transcript for video and audio. Again, why is this critical? Ethical and legal concerns. SEO and wider audience. Again, like, it really sets your brand apart too if you show that you care about people beyond the majority, because when you design for everybody, it's just a much better experience for everyone. An example of this is, you can see in the top here we have the focus ring. Now we can tell that we're tabbing through these. So what we do is we tab and it'd go down to here and it would show the focus ring, and we just go through everything. So accurate content. So accuracy builds trust. So what we want to do is we want to keep all basic info current, our hours of contact, products, services, as outdated info frustrates people and signals neglect that we don't, take care of our website. We want to combat stagnation, which means we want to eliminate broken links, prevent dead end. This improves SEO. We want to remove outdated info, events, news, promotions. Everything should be current as much as possible. Again, this is to showcase activity and expertise. We want to add fresh blog post as this establishes authority, drives repeat visits, aids SEO. We could also add new testimonials and reviews, provide vital social proof and credibility for our brand. Other updates include you can add FAQs, portfolio, team bios, company news, really whatever content that you need to display to your potential customer or that would help your case as a brand. SEO. So now this isn't necessarily important for a website, but it is part of a website, so I thought I would include it here. Now, when it comes to SEO, there's really 5 types here. Well, 2 types really. We have organic and local, and the other 3 feed into those either local or organic. So when we're talking about organic, we're talking about the blue links in the Google search results. So that's when you go to google.com and it's the traditional blue links there. Now, local SEO is the little map there that shows up when you're looking for local service business. That can include like plumbers, electricians, and that's the little map pack on the left there. For technical is Web Core Vitals, page speed, 404s, crawlability. We went over a lot of this and when I was talking about speed and how your site really needs to take less than 3 seconds for your traffic. We have on-page SEO, which is really the words on the page and what we're trying to convey this page is about and the topic of that page. Again, this just tells Google what we're relevant for. Off-page is backlinks, press releases, any social media we have like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. And then we also have brand mentions, which again is also part of your social media of what other people say about you. And why is this critical? Well, if people can't find you, people won't buy from you. Security. So security builds trust between you and your customers and people visiting your site. So you really want to have SSL certificates that protects against it protects against man-in-the-middle attacks and improves SEO rankings. Again, we have broader security, which is keeping your website up to date, or your website up to date using updating your themes and plugins. We want to use strong passwords, limit admin access, malware scan, secure backup, just good cybersecurity practices here. And why is this critical? Again, it signals professionalism and credibility. A trusted, secure website equals a trusted business. And when we have a trusted business, people are more willing to spend money with us. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation. I will take any questions.